Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Thursday. I am super excited to bring you guys today's video because it is a collab with my beautiful, lovely, wonderful friend Penn from over at PennSmithSkincare. Last November, Penn and I met up for coffee. We are lucky enough to live in the same area. And we were chatting about YouTube stuff, and Penn had mentioned doing a few collabs in 2020, and so we're thinking this might be monthly, every other month. We're not quite sure yet, but we thought we would do kind of a series of collab videos together because we have very opposite skin types, and what's great about that is that no matter what your skin type, you are probably going to get a product recommendation that works for you, either with her video or my video. So the idea is that we kind of tackle the different subjects from the perspective of either a drier skin type, which is Penn, or a more oily skin type, which is me. If you are new here from Penn's channel, welcome. I hope that you will take the time to subscribe. And if you are not subscribed to Penny, I will of course be linking her video in the description box down below. Go check her out. Penn is actually an esthetician. If you, again, are not new to my channel, she is the one who treated my sebaceous hyperplasia and got rid of them for me, and they have not returned. So she used the plasma pen for that, but she's an amazing esthetician, and I will be going back to her this year for a few more treatments. I'm going to definitely make this another year of just taking really good care of my skin, and I have a couple of treatments in mind for that. So Penn is obviously my esthetician of choice because she's super knowledgeable, you guys. Her channel is fantastic because she focuses pretty much exclusively on skincare. She has really great suggestions for those of you that are on a tighter budget when it comes to skincare, but she also talks about higher end products as well as medical grade skincare. She gives a lot of advice on at-home treatments. So, you know, anything that you can do at home, how to do it in a safe manner so that you are not damaging your skin. Just so many great suggestions from her. And what's wonderful about Penn is because she's an esthetician, she tends to focus a lot more on specific ingredients, what they do. She's just incredibly knowledgeable. I always pick her brain when we get together. And besides all of that, she's just a fantastic person, just without, you know, her YouTube channel being like a thing. Like, she's so sweet, you guys. She's so easy to talk to. The first time that we met up, I just felt like such a connection with her instantly. Like, nothing was awkward or weird. She's just genuinely so personable and sweet and kind and lovely and beautiful, and I think everyone should go subscribe to Penn if they are not already. So, of course, Penn's video will be in the description box down below, as will everything that I share with you guys today. I'm looking at my pile of products over here. So our first video was, I think I was looking at my hands one day and I thought, you know what would be a really good collab is if we talked about hand care. So tips and tricks for dry aging hands. And Penn and I are similar in age. We are both in our 40s, and we both have jobs where we are frequently washing our hands, her being an esthetician, and obviously my job, if you are not familiar, I'm a florist, so my hands are constantly in and out of water. My hands are usually covered in some kind of floral preservative or chemical, and my hands can get in really rough shape. I'm talking dry, cracked, painful hands, especially in the winter months, washing my hands more frequently. I have an elementary age daughter, and she brings home all the germs. And so I try very hard to not get sick every single cold and flu season. And so I'm washing my hands quite frequently, on top of my hands frequently being in water and around floral chemicals. So our video today is all about how to negate dry aging hands. I don't think that there is, besides the neck meat shows your age quite a bit, but I don't think that there is another part of the body that shows the age quite so blatantly as the hands, because a lot of people forget to treat their hands. Same with the neck as well as the décolleté. I see a lot of women who just have beautiful skin on their face, and then when you look at their hands, you just see that they're obviously not doing anything to treat that particular area, and the skin on your hands is so thin, and age spots and just wrinkles and dryness just gets accentuated there like crazy. Our hands are exposed to the sun when we are driving, when we are just out doing everyday tasks, and most people don't reapply sunscreen on their hands often enough, and that is definitely something that I'm going to talk about. I will warn you right now, if you are new to my channel, brevity is not my area of expertise. I tend to talk way too much and way too long about things, so just warning you right now. I will try to be brief, but this is not what I'm known for here. So the first suggestion that I'm going to start with, and this is kind of a duh, because I think a lot of people probably already do this, but some people may not have thought about it. But when you are doing your skincare at night, everything that you are putting on your face, your neck, your décolleté, which you should be treating this whole situation, right? Don't just wash your face and put stuff here. Take it down onto your neck, at least your neck. But also remember, this chest area oftentimes is also exposed to a lot of sunlight and sun damage, and it can really show its age. So take everything down. But also, you always have excess on your fingers from applying to these areas. Just take whatever skincare that you are putting on your face onto the backs of your hands and just, you know, like rub it in there. That is something that I started doing a few months ago, and I can tell you that it definitely made a difference for sure. So any peptide that I'm using on my face, any retinol that I'm using on my neck, I don't take my tretinoin onto the back of my hands. I did that a couple times, and it made my hands pretty dry. Retinols are usually fine, but tretinoin, I feel like that's probably a step too far, at least right now during the winter months for my hands. But any of my serums, like my CosRX Snail Mucin, all of that stuff has now been going onto the backs of my hands, and man, has that made a difference. But there are also some other products that I'm going to suggest that are also going to help your hands look their best. And I'm going to go ahead and dive into that right now. I'm going to start with hand creams because that's kind of the biggest, like, of course, right? So I have one that's just kind of fun and smells like $1,000,000, but two that I use that are absolutely incredible for healing my dry, damaged hands. Okay, the first is gloves in a bottle. I don't think that I've ever heard anyone else talk about this, but this is an amazing product, you guys. It is basically a shielding lotion for your hands. So as you apply it, it really soaks deep into the skin and kind of essentially provides a barrier. So even after like multiple hand washes after applying this, your hands are still hydrated and moisturized. It provides this really beautiful, non-greasy, readily absorbed shield to your hands. Oh man, is this wonderful. It is also really good for eczema. So sometimes I will get some eczema on the backs of my hands, and this definitely has helped to treat that. If you have really dry, cracked hands, this is something that I would definitely encourage you to pick up because it has made a big difference for me. Another item that is actually just a body cream that also, again, ironically is great for my eczema, is the Paula's Choice Daily Replenishing Body Cream. This is a really nice, thick, again, non-greasy. I don't like greasy anything on my hands because I feel like when I have greasy hands, I lose dexterity and I just don't have the patience to wait for things to soak in for like 15 minutes. Like, I need to be able to put my hand lotion on and go about my business. And this is another one that really absorbs very well. This has ceramides as well as shea butter in it. Oh man, does it do a beautiful job. So if this is upstairs next to my bed, I keep one of these downstairs in my kitchen. if I'm downstairs in the kitchen, I will just use this, and it feels so good, you guys. Very, very soothing, very hydrating, absolutely fabulous. And then my kind of fun suggestion, I do a lot of home fragrance reviews on my channel as well, and I am a sucker for smells. Now, I know that fragrance in skincare, especially skincare, but body care, a lot of people just don't care for it. I like fun, smelly things, not necessarily in skincare, but body care for sure. So this is the Soap and Glory Hand Food Hydrating Hand Cream, and this is in their scent Call of Fruity. I love this. Not only is this a really nice hydrating hand cream, it's got some really great ingredients in it. It's got marshmallow extract, macadamia oil, and shea butter. All of those ingredients are going to deeply hydrate and nourish the skin, but this also smells like $1,000,000, you guys. Oh, it smells so good. If you like the way that sweet tart smell, you are going to love this. And it's another one that absorbs very quickly. Not as quickly as the other two. I do usually have to like take a few minutes before going and doing, you know, like a thing to wait for this to absorb. But it's really kind of a fun thing to apply throughout the day because it just smells so good. And it just puts me in a good mood. So if you're looking for a fun smelly thing, this one is really nice. So for nighttime, when I've been going to bed, I've been using these gloves. You might think these are kind of silly, but hear me out. So these are from Earth Therapeutics. I found these at Ulta. I'm sure you can also find them on Amazon. I will link a few places to get these down below. These are moisturizing hand gloves, and basically what these do is they help to seal the moisture in your hands at night. So what I do is, typically I like to keep this next to my bedside stand, and I'm almost out. I need to definitely reorder this. I've got like a few uses left, but I need to hit up a reorder here. I like to put this on with, and this is another tip, if you have a facial oil that you are no longer loving on your face, but you are wanting to use it up, whether it's a marula oil or whatever, use up your facial oils in with your hand creams or use them up on your body. There's ways to use facial oils up, but one of the things that I like to do is take my personal favorite, the Biossance 100% Squalane oil. This is my newest bottle of it. This is a repurchase for me. It is so good, you guys. I now prefer squalane oil for my face because I feel like it is the best fit for my oily skin. But this also is a really great hydrator for the skin. And once again, it helps to soothe eczema. So for me, this is just a must-have. And the Biossance is by far my favorite. I've tried a few different squalane oils, and this is definitely the one that I prefer. But I will, you know, put on my little squirt of hand lotion and then put probably like half a pump. I love that this has a pump, by the way. Half a pump of the oil in there, and then I just rub that into my hands, and then I will take my fancy lady gloves here, and while we're watching TV at night, I will just leave these on. So your hands are going to warm up. It is going to drive that lotion and that oil a little bit deeper into the skin, and then before I go to sleep, I just take the gloves off, and my hands are so soft when I wake up in the morning, you guys. These are genius. Now, you could also just put socks on your hands. I like having a little bit of dexterity, even if I'm just laying in bed watching TV, like if I want to grab my phone or something. So the gloves are kind of nice, and they're just a really nice cotton glove. When you feel like they need to be washed, what I do is just wash them out in the bathroom sink and then dry them beside the bathroom sink. You can also just toss them into the washer. I don't recommend putting them in the dryer because they will shrink up, but you can just very easily wash them either by hand or pop them in the washing machine and then just set them out to dry after. These are a must. Also, the Patchology, I believe it's called the Perfect 10 hand mask. I don't have one here now. I actually went to Ulta to pick one up for this video, but they didn't have them in store, so I need to order one online. But this is an amazing treat for your hands, either once a week or once a month when your hands are kind of at their worst. It's just basically like tinfoil mittens that you put on. They're infused with really great hydrating ingredients, and you leave them on anywhere from, I don't know, 20 to 40 minutes. Sometimes I will even leave them on longer, especially if I'm just not doing anything on a particular evening, like a Friday night. Craig and I are just laying in bed watching a movie or something. Oh man, your hands get so warm. They almost get to the point of like being uncomfortable because basically your body heat is just like radiating back on itself, and it just drives those really good for you skin hydrating ingredients deeper into your skin. And when you take those gloves off, you are going to have just brand new baby hands. Oh, so good. Such a nice treat. I believe that a pack is, and it's one treatment per pack, is about $10. So not something you probably want to do every other night, but a once a month or once a week treat, I think that's kind of a nice thing to do, especially if you deal with really dry, cracked hands during the winter months. There are other hand masks out there. In fact, when I was at Ulta, I saw a few options. I didn't know whether they were cruelty-free or not. I didn't think to look them up at the time, so I didn't grab any of those, but I know that the Patchology is. So there's that. All right. Lastly, one of the biggest things that I think you need to do in order to protect your hands is to actually reapply your SPF frequently. Year-round, but especially during the summer months. But realistically, the sun's rays are damaging your skin, whether it is sunny out or whether it's cloudy. So even though we're in winter here in the Northern Hemisphere, you need to protect your skin. So one of the things that I like to do is just keep a giant tub of a body sunscreen downstairs next to the sink. This is just the Alba Botanica Very Emollient Body Lotion, and this just has an SPF of 15. Ideally, you want a higher SPF, but this is kind of just a good, like, quick thing to grab on your way out the door. So just take a pump of this, rub it into your hands and your wrists or any area that is exposed, obviously, to the sun. At least you will get some sun protection. When you are driving, your hands are on the steering wheel and those rays are just aging your skin. Another thing I like to do is I will oftentimes keep a sunscreen spray either in my purse or in my car. During the summer when it gets really hot, I don't keep it in there all the time. I will keep it in my purse. But this is one of my favorites. It's the Goddess Garden Organics Sport Broad Spectrum SPF 30. This is a mineral sunscreen, and what I do is I basically will just spray the tops of my hands either when I get in the car or right before I get in the car, and it gives me that sun protection factor on the tops of my hands. You really should be protecting your skin, all of it, but especially your hands, because those are for sure the most exposed when it comes to driving and just everyday tasks outside. So make sure you're protecting your skin. That is probably one of the best ways to protect against age spots and all the stuff that happens. But yeah, so SPF is going to be my last suggestion, even though it's probably the most important. So anyway, be sure to go check out Penny's video. I know that she did a couple of special things because she's an esthetician. So she was like, I have an idea. So be sure to go check out Penny's video and see how her little experiment went with her hand care. And yeah, I will be sure to link everything down below for you guys if you are curious about any of my suggestions here. Again, if you are new from Penny's channel, I hope that you will take the time to subscribe. If not, I hope that you enjoyed the video anyway. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and make sure you go watch Penny next. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.